Hey, One World Entertainment, and we have an update for the first time in a long time on Constantine 2. Yet, if you remember, they were talking about this sequel was definitely happening and Keanu Reeves was coming back and all this stuff, and then it went really quiet and we haven't heard anything. Well, now we're hearing something, and it's an interesting something, to be honest with you, but we're still not sure what's happening in terms of where it's going to fit in, does it fit in, and if it actually has a go-ahead. So let's have a look at this article that talks about this. So, shortly after James Gunn announced the first chapter of the new DCU slate last year, rumours began to circulate that a direct sequel to 2005's Constantine was in the works, and Warner Brothers would later confirm that the project was indeed in early stages of development. Since then, we've had conflicting reports relating to the movie's status, and since it's pretty much been radio silent since last February, it was generally assumed that the sequel had been scrapped. Why? Don't know. Why would you just assume that? However, producer Lorenzo de Bonaventura has now revealed that the script has been completed and he just needs to work up the courage to read it. So he told comicbook.com, he said this, it's in my inbox right now, funny enough. I'm just too scared to read it though. I want it to be good so bad. I'll probably read it in the next few days when I get on an airplane. So there is a script. There is a script ready to be looked at and looked over. Now, that would probably be a first script, so obviously they would have to look at it, see what needs to be fixed, what needs to be changed and whatnot, or if they just outright hate it and say you have to rewrite the whole thing. But there is a finished script waiting to be looked at. So it continues saying, we know that a finished script doesn't necessarily mean that a project will actually enter production, but we're certainly taking this as a positive sign. And as far as we all know, Keanu Reeves is still set to reprise the role of the chain-smoking occultist, with director Francis Lawrence back on board to helm the film. And it says, we're not sure if the sequel will be part of the DCU or an Elseworlds project, like Todd Phillips' Joker or Matt Reeves' The Batman. But John Constantine is closely linked to Swamp Thing in the comics, so there's some speculation that the character could be reintroduced as the main DCU's John Constantine. So there is a script. Where does it fit into the overall new DCU? We don't know. The question should also be is, when did they start writing it? Was it when the new DCU came about? Or was it being worked on before that? So if that's the case, there'll probably be a few things in there that has to maybe get changed. If he's going to be in there with Swamp Thing, of course we know Swamp Thing will be a movie down the line. How will they work that out? Would that mean that they would be introducing Constantine in a sequel as basically a soft reboot? Or will they acknowledge the first Constantine as canon? Because you will have to do that. I'm not a massive fan of those soft reboots, where it's a sequel but it's also a reboot. That's basically what the Incredible Hulk movie was after Hulk, because Hulk was just received so, I think it did well at the box office, or well enough, but the response to it was like, God, this is horrible. And the second movie, of course, was a sequel, but it was also meant to be like this reboot to try and rejuvenate it and change it a bit. Could this be one of them? That'll be interesting. And we know Keanu Reeves does want to do it. He's spoken quite fondly of wanting to come back to play this character. And I don't hate the first Constantine. It's not spectacular or anything, but I think it's a decent enough movie. So I wouldn't mind, and I definitely wouldn't say no to seeing Keanu Reeves come back as the character. The question is, what way will they do it? And it'll be the other thing, because are they going to start introducing R-rated movies into the DCU? And if he's a part of the main DCU, not the Elseworld stuff, the main DCU, would they dare make it R-rated? And which would make it really awkward and confusing for people then where you'll have all these PG-13 type things and then these R-rated ones in there as well, but they're all linked. That's where it'll get weird and confusing. But we'll wait and see what happens with this. Again, there is a script, they just have to look at it, and once that happens, I'm sure we'll get another update as to whether or not it's a go, whether it's going to be has to go through rewrites or a change or whatnot. We'll find out. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe if you don't mind. Cheers, and I shall catch you in the next one.